Welcome back to the Met Ship Pod. I'm your host, Met Ship Posting, and this is just probably the most disappointing series of the whole season. I mean, getting swept at home by Cleveland. Cleveland's not a great team, but they're not a bad team, but they're definitely a team that the Mets should have handled. I mean, you want to talk about underperformance. You can point at anybody on the Mets team. You can point your fingers at anybody, and you can find a reason to blame them in some kind of way. Let's start with the top of the order. Mr. Brandon Nimmo going 0 for 10 in the entire series. Did not have one single hit. The game that I was at today, where they got no hit until an 8 and 1/3 inning, when Soto hit the home run with one out. He walked like 3 times, Nimmo, that is. But besides that, he did nothing. He was not a presence at all. Absolutely terrible performance from Brandon Nimmo. He's got to step it up big time. I mean, he's a veteran on this team. He has to hit by now. He has to hit. Sorry, no way around that. Let's talk about Mr. Solo. Mr. Solo Dolo. Mr. Juan Solo. Juan Soto has 26 home runs on the season. Do you want to guess how many of them are solo home runs? Just take a guess. I'll give you a minute to think about it. The answer is 20. 20 out of Juan Soto's 26 home runs have been solo home runs. And the other 6 of those have only been 2-run home runs. He has not had a 3-run home run or grand slam yet. Grand slam is kind of hard to come by, but how do you pay a guy this much money and doesn't hit a 3-run home run by now? I'm sorry. That's just unacceptable in my eyes. The production level that we're getting from Soto is not what we paid him for, to be honest with you. This is not the Juan Soto that we want. We want the Juan Soto that's going to rake. We want the Juan Soto that's going to hit clutch home runs and get clutch hits and hit 3-run home runs. Like, contribute more. Contribute more. This lineup is just filled with studs, but they're duds. They're duds right now. And I don't want to say that they're completely out of it. I don't want to say that they're done. I think that they are going to turn around at some point. I have faith. I have hope, which a lot of Mets fans seem to not have, but and understandably so. I'm not saying, like, you got to believe. I mean, I do think you got to believe. But it just gets harder every day. It just gets harder every day. I think Eric Chavez has got to go. Eric Chavez had to have been fired in May. I don't know how much a hitting coach really contributes to a player's approach at the plate or their swing or their pitch selection, but just something has to be off. I mean, these guys are all professional, seasoned athletes by now. I mean, Lindor's had a long career. Soto's been up there long enough. Nimmo's had a long career. Pete's having a great career. Starling Marte. There's McNeil even. I mean, all these guys, like, besides, like, the 3 rookies we have, I mean, Alvarez is kind of a rookie, but, like, Beatty, Vientos is still very young, and Mauricio, like, those 4 guys are really the only players on this team that I expect to struggle. I mean, everyone's going to struggle at some point, but not for this long. I mean, something in the clubhouse has got to change. And I'm not always a big proponent of firing somebody, you know, but you got to do something. I mean, you have to try something. Don't fire Mendoza. You got to fire Chavez and Barnes. Like, the problem the entire year has been the offense. The pitching has been an issue, but the main issue, every game that we lose, we look back and be like, yeah, our pitcher didn't have that good of a start, but we didn't score any runs. We scored 1 run. Like, if your pitcher gives up 3 runs and your bullpen doesn't allow any, and you lose the game 3-2, then that's unacceptable with this type of offense, with this kind of payroll that the Mets have with Lindor and Soto and Alonso. Like, I'm saying these names over and over again, but they are the problem. They are the main problem of this. I mean, when they go, everyone else goes. And I expect that Alonso is going to turn around. I expect that Lindor is going to turn it around. I expect that Soto is going to turn it around. But I also expect them to not hurt us. But they are hurting us. They are hurting this team. Like right now, they are hurting the team. Like sometimes guys can struggle, but they won't hurt you. Like Soto, he struggled early on, but he still did his thing. He got on base. He was stealing. He was not contributing completely, but he was still not hurting you. These guys, like Brandon Nimmo, 5 strikeouts. 5 strikeouts on Monday. Like, are we serious? You can't put the ball in play? You can't put the ball in play at all? How old are you? 30-something? Major leaguer since 2016? You can't put the ball in play once? That's just, like, unacceptable. It's really just unacceptable. And, I hate sitting here as a non-professional athlete and a non-baseball player past high school and judge professional athletes on how they do. But, like, this is their job, and this is what they are paid to do. And we as fans expect you to perform. They expect you to do your job, which the entire lineup has not. And when the entire lineup is not hitting, you look at the coaches, and Eric Chavez is the hitting coach. You need to make a change. Have a team meeting. Have JD Martinez be the hitting coach. Bring somebody in to be the hitting coach. Bring nobody in to be the hitting coach and just say, guys, go out there and do your thing. Do what you guys do best. Because I think at this point, that would be the best option. I mean, Pete Alonso had to go to a different hitting coach in the offseason. Doesn't listen to what Chavez says. So, don't you see that as a problem? If you're David Stearns, don't you see, my 5-time All-Star and soon-to-be franchise career home run leader has to go out of the organization to work on his hitting and to get different stats and a different point of view for himself so he can be better? Like, isn't that what you pay the hitting coach for? And he has to go somewhere else? He has to go elsewhere? Like, that should be a red flag in itself. I understand that players do that just to get a better viewpoint on their approach at the plate as a whole. But still, like, how do you not see that and be like, okay, well, like, why is Eric not enough? You have to go elsewhere. It makes no sense to me. I think David Stearns really needs to grow a pair of balls here. And we'll get back to David Stearns in a little bit. But this team needs a spark, and I think firing somebody will be a spark. And letting them just have fun and play ball. I think last year, when they had no expectations, there were however many games on the 500, like 17 games back, they thought, you know what, let's just go out there and let's go have fun. And look what happened. It worked. And I hate to come on here and bash them when I'm saying they should be doing the opposite and just have fun. Like, I sound pretty contradictory. But maybe they should just try having fun, letting loose. And I think there's a lot of tension in that clubhouse right now. And I think a change does need to be made. I feel like Eric Chavez is dead weight. I really think he's holding this team back. If Carlos Mendoza walked in the clubhouse tomorrow and said, fuck it, you're gone, everyone go out there, have fun, approach however you want, everyone do their own thing, let's see what happens. I think it could make a big difference. I mean, something's got to give. Something's got to give. We can't keep watching this same abysmal team go out there and trot out there every day and try to parade ourselves around as World Series contenders. We're like a borderline non-playoff team. I mean, the Miami Marlins are right on our ass. And if they don't fix shit soon, the fish are going to slip right into the playoffs. And we're going to be out. Then we got to go play the Brewers, who have been the best team in the league, in Milwaukee. Don't really care about last year. I know Pete Alonso hit the home run. Whoop-de-doo. It's a new year. And I'm not looking forward to this series. I'm really not. We had a successful series against the Brewers the last time we played them. I think we took 2 out of 3. But they've just been on a heater. And they did something that the Mets should do. And it's had success all across the league. And I'm going to talk about that after I read you the Fab 4 stats since the All-Star break. Since the All-Star break, Francisco Lindor is batting .195 with a .569 OPS. Juan Soto, since the All-Star break, is batting 177 with a 640 OPS. Pete Alonso, since the All-Star break, is batting 179 with a 589 OPS. And Brandon Nimmo, since the All-Star break, is batting 232 with a 667 OPS. Brandon Nimmo is hitting 30 points over 200, and everyone else is below the Mendoza line. If you don't know what the Mendoza line is, it's not Carlos Mendoza. The Mendoza line is hitting is 200 batting average. So if you're at 201, you're above the Mendoza line. If you're at 199, you're below the Mendoza line. If you're at 200 batting average, you're at the Mendoza line. So that's just some baseball terminology in there for you. Now let's go to what the Milwaukee Brewers have done and what the Chicago Cubs have done and what I believe the Cincinnati Reds have done is bring up a rookie pitcher. Since Jacob Misiorowski made his debut, the Brewers, are 36-13. Let that sink in for a second. Since Jacob Misiorowski's debut, the Brewers are 36-13 and have the best record in Major League Baseball. Now, is that all because of Misiorowski? No. But there's a clear-cut difference in the team before he started and after he started. And the trajectory for that team completely changed. I'm telling you that a young arm that everyone wants to go out there and win for can bring a spark to this team. Maybe you don't fire Chavez. Maybe you bring up Brandon Sproat or Nolan McLean. And the whole clubhouse is like, hey, we got this new guy in here. He's just one of the prospects of Young Bucks. Let's go out there and let's win for him. Like, come on, like, fight for a common cause. I mean, why not? I really don't care about saving another year in his contract or he has options and blah, 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 all that shit. Like, fuck that. You need to win. You have to win now. I'm so tired of hearing this option BS. Well, if we wait till August 15th, he gets another year on his contract. Yeah, well, in August 15th, we can be 12 games back from the Phillies. And what the fuck is your option going to do? What is it going to do? I don't really care about the options. I want to win baseball games. And if the options for a player are going to affect winning a baseball game, then you shouldn't be a fucking GM. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, your objective should be win now. You want to make moves at the deadline for Ryan Helsley and Tyler Rogers and Cedric Mullins, and then say, well, we're not going to break this pitcher yet because he has options for next year if we wait till this time. You get an extra year on whatever this is. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. It's stupid. It's stupid. You have to win. You have to win now. Do whatever it takes to win. Like, enough with the pussyfooting around and then the baby we gotta wait for the contract and this and that. Like, no. If Brandon Sproat or Nolan McLean or whoever the fuck is gonna come up here and help you win games, then bring him up now before it's too late. August 15th is, 9 days away? You don't think we can't lose 9 in a row? Or maybe just 8? And you don't think the Phillies can go on a tear at any point? Or even 5 games back from the Phillies would be dangerous territory because with how close we've been all year. And if they just play 500 ball, and we play 500 ball, then it's not going to. We're gonna miss out on the division and probably the playoffs. Another rookie pitcher that's got brought up is in Chicago, Cade Horton. His last 5 games, he's let up 4 runs, and that's been one game where he had a bit of a rough outing. But 4 out of 5 games without allowing a run. I mean, come on. Like, come on. And I think Brandon Sproat and Nolan McLean are perfectly capable of doing that. And now we're going to watch fucking Frankie Montas trot out again for whatever number start this is. He's going to shit the bed. Like, you know that he's going to be bad. Like, you just know it's going to happen. I mean, you take Clay Holmes out the other day in the 6th inning. Before the 6th inning, because you know he's going to get shelled in the 6th inning. You know you're going to go out there with Frankie Montas and get destroyed. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. The point is to win baseball games. And you are not putting yourself in position to win baseball games. Something has to be done. A spark has to happen. You can't let the season go by. Lindor is not getting any younger. Alonso is not getting any younger. Brendan Nimmo is not getting any younger. Half the Fab Four is on the wrong side of 30. More than half the Fab Four is on the wrong side of 30. You got the young guys, but they're not doing anything. I mean, Alvarez has been great, and Vientos has been heating up a little bit. But I mean, Ronnie and Beatty have just kind of been standing idly by. And, the pitching is just still a huge question mark. I mean, Clay Holmes has 75 pitches, and you take him out, but then we bitch about pitchers not going past the 5th inning, or going into the 6th inning, or pitching deep in the games. So, why are we taking him out? I understand that he gets blown up in the 6th inning. Then warm someone up in the bullpen. To the first sign of trouble, pull him out. But if he gets another out, you can sneak another out of Clay Holmes, then take him out. It makes no sense why you wouldn't start him. And then say, our bullpen's been overused. Yeah, Clay Holmes doesn't go more than 5 innings because they don't allow Clay Holmes to go more than 5 innings. And I understand that he shits the bed a lot in the 6th inning. But you have to, pick your poison. And I think keeping the bullpen fresh is more important than anything. I mean, say if Clay Holmes does let up a run, or just pull him at the first sign of trouble. That's it. He walks a guy out, take him out, Reed Garrett, come in, or whoever come in. But, let the guy try. I mean, 75 pitches and you take the guy out, it makes no sense to me. I don't really care about his transition into a starter. Then don't start. Don't be a starting pitcher. Then, if you're gonna keep babying Clay Holmes, stop babying him. I mean, this is so frustrating to see everyone complain about starters not going deep. And when Clay Holmes has 75 pitches and he's rolling, he's doing really good, they pull him out. That was frustrating to see. But then again, the offense didn't hit. I think Clay Holmes started the game yesterday, so we lost 3-2. How do you not score 3 runs on the Cleveland Guardians? I mean, their best closer, one of the best closers in the league, Mario Clase, can't stay off of FanDuel, so he's not in. Who else do they have? I can't name a pitcher on the Guardians. They just traded Shane Bieber away. Can you? I mean, Gavin Williams now. Randy Johnson. Oh my God. It's just so frustrating with this team, man. It really is. They have to hit. They just have to wake up and hit. I mean, bottom line. I really don't know what else I can say. I do have my friend coming in here. He is a Cleveland Guardians fan. So he wants to kind of explain and give us the rundown about how bad this truly was. Give us a feel for how, embarrassing this really was. Because he was texting me. He's like, yeah, on Monday when we faced Clade Ciccone, whatever his name is, he was their best pitcher. And he said that the next 2 guys the Mets facing suck. And we lost the second game. And the other guy that sucked almost threw a no-hitter today. So he's going to give us a little bit of a rundown on how bad the Cleveland Guardians, I don't say that the Cleveland Guardians are, but the comparison of the Cleveland Guardians to the Mets and the Mets' expectations and the Cleveland Guardian fans' expectations. So he will be here in a little bit, and we'll go from there. All right, so I got my friend C. Murda here. He's a big Guardians fan. Also, Greg from Piscataway has made his triumphant return into the podcast. How you doing? So, we're just going to go right into this. C. Murda, why don't you tell us a little bit about this Guardian team and why this was such a shocking sweep for them?
Well, to be quite frank with you, the Guardians were not playing great baseball heading into this series. I know they took 2 or 3 from Minnesota previously before the Mets series, but this was a team about a few weeks ago that was on a 10-game losing streak. The pitching has been quite frankly, not great whatsoever. And the 6 to 9 in our lineup, that being Naylor, Nolan Jones, I mean, Austin Hedges when he plays is just a disaster. Brian Rocchio. These are all guys that just should be automatic outs in most situations. But obviously, it was such a shock because, I sure as hell didn't expect us to sweep them, let alone Gavin Williams to pitch as well as he did today. But it's really just such a shock because this team is just, compared to the Mets, this team has a significantly higher payroll, and they have just more star power. I mean, Jose Ramirez is obviously a great player. Kwan obviously is very valuable to this team, especially in the leadoff spot. But when you look at guys like Alonso, Soto, Lindor, Nimmo, this is a pretty deep lineup, and it makes you wonder, why they weren't able to, at least take one game from us.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. If you had to, where in the pitcher rotation would you say Gavin Williams is? Like, where's he ranked? Like 1 through 5?
If I had to rank him 1 through 5, I would say right now he'd be our number 3. Slade Sassoni has been playing very solid baseball, as we saw in Game 1. He had a decent outing for us and pitched fairly deep into the game, which is nice to see. He was definitely our number 1. Logan Allen, who pitched last night, he's okay, but Gavin, I mean, considering how bad Tanner Bybee's been this year, who is our supposed ace, on the team, I would say that Gavin Williams is slated for number 3. And it's just so surprising, too, because he has over 4 ERA on the season, Gavin Williams does, which is just what makes this outing going, 8 2/3, basically pitching the entire game and only allowing a home run to Soto in the 9th. It's just mind-boggling to me, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that's more of a testament to how bad the Mets are doing at the plate with just hitting in general, getting no hit by the Cleveland Guardians' third best pitcher. Who the Guardians? You guys just reached above 500?
Yeah, we are like 3-4 games now over 500, which is really telling, and we're still like 6-7 games out of the division lead from Detroit. And we're not even in a wild card spot, so yeah.
So we're gonna turn over to Greg from Piscataway now. See if you have anything to say about this.
So yeah, I would like to touch on how we're talking about that 9th inning there, and we're getting no hit, 8 1/3 through, and then Juan Soto, I will give it to him. He shit on that ball, dead center, and it hit off the concrete out there real hard. But he's running the bases with an ear-to-ear grin like he just won the World Series. And, I get it. You don't want to get no hit. That is, a big vibes thing. But I get a text from one of my friends. It's like, oh, great, now we get to lose 4-1 instead of 4-0. I think it was our guy Mets RSL who put on his story, I'd almost rather get no hit. So, something, has to change in that locker room now. It's like, oh, you only lost 4-1. Doesn't matter if you lose 10-0 or 2-1. A loss is a loss. We've lost 8 of our last 9, and we have a very winnable extra inning game in the first game of the series. And then, did we lose 2 in extra innings to San Diego? I know we lost 1 that we blew it. We were up 5-0. Vientos hit that grand slam. We were up 5-1 after that. Lost that game. So, it doesn't matter. Oh, they're coming close. They're doing this. We went on a 7-game winning streak playing horribly. 7 wins in a row is not an easy thing to do, no matter how bad you're playing. But I have a lot to say about this team right now. I'm sure we'll get more into it. But we're just too comfortable being as horrible as we are right now. And Juan Soto's facial expression after hitting that home run today is so telling of that.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in here. And I was a big proponent. I think I said it earlier in the podcast before they got here. But I wanted to get no hit. I was at this game today. And everyone around me was like, you know what? I think it would be so funny if they got no hit. And personally, I have never seen a no-hitter, so just that alone I think is a pretty cool baseball feat to go and witness. I really wanted them to get no hit today because I think that if they did, there would be so much more pressure to fire Eric Chavez, which I think is something that absolutely needs to happen. I think that getting no hit like that is rock bottom, and you can only go up from there. But You didn't get no hit, and you lost 4-1. So it kind of seems better in some people's minds, or more of an excuse in the front office's minds to keep everybody and play this little patty cake game. I just saw an old clip about Terry Collins. Terry Collins was giving a post-game press conference, and he was just absolutely fired up. I mean, he was screaming. He's like, we're going to come back in here tomorrow. We're going to be better. If there's no one that wants to come in here and be better and give it their all, they're going to get the fuck out. Well, just like so much intensity, and I don't see that from this team. I don't see this from the manager. Like, I like Mendoza. I think he makes sometimes some questionable decisions, but what manager doesn't? But, like, just show some fire. Everything is just kind of like, oh, yeah, it's baseball. It happens. Well, he sounds like the Phillies manager, who I hate. Everything's just, it happens. It'll pass, blah, blah, blah. It's just very lackadaisical in his answers. Like, I want someone to get this team fired up.
And just to piggyback off of that, since this tweet I have here, since July 6th, today is August 6th. So for the last month, this is from the end of the Yankee series through July into the first 2 series that we've played in August. This is our top 5 players as far as OPS is concerned. Whether or not you think it's a stat that matters, I don't care. Jeff McNeil is our number 1 OPS at a 700. And then we have Nimmo and Lindor in the high 6s at 698 and 668. Juan Soto at 651 and Pete Alonso at 623. That is a month of horrific hitting, whether or not you care about this stat. It's been that bad for a month, and just, I don't want to be pessimistic. 12 games above 500, but we have a 3-game lead in the wild card now, and we've fallen into that 3rd spot. It just feels like this downward spiral is bad.
Yeah, I think, what's next team behind us? The Reds?
Yeah, the Reds.
I mean, the Reds are perfectly capable of overtaking us in the standings, and we're perfectly capable of shooting ourselves in the foot and falling back out of it. I mean, the Phillies lost today, I think. So we're still 2.5 games back of them. Mm-hmm. But I mean, just in general, like it's any team's game, honestly. If the Mets keep playing like this, it's not going to work out well. It's just going to be like a collapse. It's going to be a collapse. And I think this team has every ability to turn it around. I mean, Lindor and Soto and Alonso have to start there. You have to start at those 3 guys. Those 3 guys are your team. If they don't go, no one else goes. And they're the leaders on the team. Like, we talk about Lindor being captain. What is he saying in the clubhouse? Like, what is he doing? Like, he's got to step it up as a leader, not even on the baseball field, which he also has to do, but just as a leader. Like, someone's got to go into that clubhouse, smack somebody around, and say, let's fucking go. Like, let's go.
Right. So, just being a Guards fan right now and just coming in and wanting to ask to both of you a very important question about, the Mets in the coming days and, so on. So, the Guardians' bullpen has been, let's face it, pretty not great this season. It hasn't been great. Aside from Cade Smith and on occasion Hunter Gaddis, when I went to that game yesterday and I saw Jacob Junis pitching a scoreless inning, which he's been god-fucking awful this year. I saw Colby Allard pitch a scoreless inning, and I saw Matt Festa pitch a scoreless inning. Now, if you're a Mets fan, you're probably wondering, who the fuck are these guys? And quite frankly, as a fan, I don't blame you guys, honestly, for thinking, who the fuck are these guys? I questioned how they didn't give up any runs, honestly. And this ties to both question to both of you guys right now. Where do you guys go from here, honestly? What changes do you guys have to make to, get a spark going, especially coming into a Milwaukee team that's, let's face it, the best in baseball right now, That's got to be very tough for you guys, so I'm definitely curious what your answers are to that.
I said this before you guys got here. I recorded part of the podcast before you guys got here, and I said that I think the Brewers, since bringing up Jacob Mizorowski, are 36-13. The Cubs have a rookie pitcher who's pitched his last 5 games. He's let up 4 runs, and that was all in 1 game, so he's had 4 outings of 0 runs. Bringing up either Brandon Sproat or Nolan McLean, I think would bring a spark to this team, to be honest. I think bringing up a rookie kind of just like gets all their veterans invested and really want to like go out and win for the guy. And I think that will carry over into the rest of the team. Obviously, the pitchers only pitch one day, but I don't think Jet Williams is ready to come up, and I don't think Carson Bench is ready to come up. But you have 2 pitchers down in AAA, and you're going to be jogging out Frankie Montas sometime this week, which doesn't seem like the best idea to me. And I don't think it's going to get the best reaction from your fans. So why not bring up Nolan McLean or Brandon Sproat and try to get some kind of a spark?
Yeah, that's absolutely not a bad idea at all, especially with Montas slated to start against the Brewers this week. And you just have to, like, right now, with the way the Brewers are playing, you have to mark that down as a loss. And so right there, that's the second game of the series. You're down 1-0 in the series with, obviously, Senga and Minaya both pitching. But with the way we're hitting right now, we just went 14 straight innings without a hit. Well, like, we got no hit after the 4th inning yesterday, and that was after shelling their starter in the first 3 innings. Obviously only getting 2 runs, and in perfect Mets fashion, grounding into an inning-ending double play with the bases loaded. But like after that, I felt good. I was like, okay, like this guy should be out of here within the next few innings, and then he really hunkered down. And then, as Murda over here is saying, their bullpen came in, and guys I've never heard of are pitching not just scoreless innings, hitless innings. And then today we go 8 2/3 against this guy with 1 hit, a couple walks. And whether it's bringing up a rookie or just a players-only meeting or something, we just need some kind of fire or some kind of juice. Like, the team is not playing with any jam right now. And I don't know if it's a star that has to step up or if it's a young guy or a glue guy like Jeff McNeil needs to start hitting home runs, but like they got no jam right now, and it's gonna hurt us down the road.
Speaking of fire, Eric Chavez has to go. I think that's also another spark. The entire year since April, since the beginning of the year, everyone's been talking about the hitting. If we didn't have Pete Alonso for the first 30 games when he was hitting like 367, just doing ridiculous numbers, we would be probably 20 games below 500 right now. So this offense as a whole, the entire season has just been abysmal. Like, let's just face it. I mean, Soto had that good month of June when everyone else sucked, and the whole team sucked. We didn't. We all know what happened in June. The June swoon hit us hard, and we still couldn't hit, and the pitching wasn't good, but the offense again was just the problem, and it's been the problem all year. And so, like, how do you look at that and not say that the hitting coach needs to face some kind of repercussions? And I think his ass should be canned.
And there is at least something to be optimistic about, is we have not played our best baseball yet. You haven't seen it. You've seen flashes of it, but the hitting and pitching has not been synchronized great at the same time at all this year, and we're 12 games over 500 going into the month of August. This series against the Brewers is huge. Obviously, every game counts the same, but just from like a team morale standpoint, you have a long break today. I'm sure they're already in Milwaukee. You have all day tomorrow, and then I think they have a night game on Friday in Milwaukee. Going to be a hostile environment. I'm sure they haven't been back there since last year, and I'm sure they're not going to be well taken. It's going to be a fired up crowd, and that's also something that has to drive them. Juan Soto feeds off of that. Obviously, he wasn't on the team last year, but when he was at Yankee Stadium, he was loving that. Francisco Lindor is going to get booed, and he better love that. Pete Alonso is going to get shit thrown at him, and he better love that. There has to be something in this series. They have to bring that fuck you energy and take 2 in Milwaukee. I know, like, people are going to be like, all right, let's just get 1 because they're the best team in baseball right now. I want at least 2.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Milwaukee right now is the best. And I think if you go into Milwaukee and take this series, you kind of flip the script a little bit. I feel that they lose. The best case scenario for winning 2 out of 3 is they lose the first game and win the next 2. Because I think if you win the first one and then lose the second one, like, you want to leave off on a good note. Like, if you lose the last game, win the first 2, everyone's just going to remember the loss. And speaking of a spark plug, I wish Jesse Winker was not hurt right now.
I was going to bring his name up because that guy just brings vibes. I was at the playoff game last year against the Phillies. I think it was game 1 where him and Alonso both hit one to the same spot. Winker, obviously, the lefty, pulled it. But that guy just fucking loves hitting home runs. And you also remember, like, the 2 games it was against Baltimore where we're comparing pimp jobs back-to-back days. I don't remember the last time a Met had a pimp job. Like, throwing the bat, it was him and Francisco Alvarez, and it was just, that was a fun time to be alive. I can't wait to tell my future children and grandchildren about the 2024 Mets.
Yeah, like, now you bring that up, like, when was the last time a Met, like, pimped a home run? I mean, I think Pete was probably the closest, but, like, the vibes just kind of were off, like, obviously, like, that's the playoffs, it's a whole different thing, but, like, watching Winker pimp a home run is just, like, something else. He just stares at the ball, chews his fucking tobacco, and watches it fly.
That walk-off that Alvarez had against Baltimore when we're still under 500, he's smashing the bat against the ground, pumping his fist, like, Jeff McNeil had one this year. That's, like, the last one that I can think of.
Yeah, of, like, so, like everyone getting hyped and, like, holy shit, like,
pimp job.
Yeah, like, let's go against the Yankees, right?
We've hit some home runs, but, like, there's no fucking jam right now, and they need it.
I just to butt in here real quick. I really feel like it's like a tale of like 2 different, like, from last year to this year. Last year around this time was obviously when the Mets started, you know, really to get going on their path to a wild card berth, and the energy, you know, started to pick up, and it was just fucking full of life and everything, and we're buzzing. Now it just feels like they're lifeless on the fucking field, you know. It doesn't, you know, you know, getting hit, you know, almost no hit by Gavin Williams doesn't prove that. I don't know what does, quite frankly. And, you know, I really want to know, you know, where they're going to go from here and how they're going to, you know, end off the season, definitely. It's going to be a tight gap between Philly and them, and even though I think Philly's running away with it a little, slowly running away with it right now, I still think the Mets are more than capable, obviously, with the talent that they have to try to get back in it. But if they need to change things now, if that's the case, because this current, you know, state of the Mets is definitely not a good one. They gotta get shit rolling fast. I need to emphasize that.
All right, so before we close it out, C. Murder has one thing he has left to say.
Fuck Emmanuel Clase. Thanks for ruining our fucking trade deadline. I hope you never pitch again. Fuck you.
And that's spoken like a true Guardians fan right there. All right, so I don't know how long this episode ran, but it's definitely a long one. Appreciate you guys tuning in, whoever does. Make sure to catch the next episode of the Met Shit Pod. Follow Met Shit Posting. And good night, good evening, or good morning to all of you. Good night. Goodbye. See you later. Let's go, Mets.